Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, you are listening to the best music-oriented podcast and web series on all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio.
And I'm Aegis on Levity of the Intermission Group.
We may be in a court, but I'm still the Crimson King. I was just making a joke right there. It was a horrible one. Aegis had me listen to In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson, so. And I'm sure we'll get more into that very soon anyway, so. Anyway, it's another weekend. The sun is, I don't know if it's out because my curtain's shut. The birds, I don't hear them chirping, and my sister's back up here for the weekend, so I'm going to spend some time with her. Anyway, cheers, fuckface.
Cheers.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another legit album review. Now, we all know last November was the 50-year anniversary of something that happened on Lake Superior, which we will get into. And it's also the 50-year anniversary since the song that was inspired by said event. And it's from this album, which is the 50-year anniversary. And I am, of course, talking about Gordon Lightfoot's 1976 album, Summertime Dream. Now, I'll be honest with you, man. Growing up, I was not a huge Lightfoot fan. I really didn't care much about him. But he was one of those musicians, like, once you keep revisiting and whatnot, you really start growing a much deeper appreciation for it.
Yeah, this was my first time listening to the album, and I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, and what's the genre?
Progressive folk.
Yeah, that was the one thing I saw. I was like, I figured you would like that. That, you know, like, obviously, like, Gordon Lightfoot, man, like, he... hell of a folk singer, too, man. My dad was such a diehard Lightfoot fan, and we all know that he is probably one of the OGs from the 60s, you know, like when folk music was still what it was back then.
Yep.
And I know that he just passed away not long ago, like in 2023, and I remember when Bob Dylan said like a really nice tribute when he heard about it, because Bob Dylan, he had already been around before Gordon Lightfoot came to become what he became, but Bob Dylan was like, you know, there was something about his music that was pure magic, you know. Now, I listened to a few Lightfoot songs, and there is a certain magic to it. Good, and you've listened to progressive folk yourself before.
Yeah, I'd consider some of the Decemberist music to be progressive folk.
Yeah, I've listened to the Decemberists, and yeah, you're right. They are pretty folksy, to say the least. I wonder if the Decemberists were influenced by Gordon Lightfoot, actually. Yeah. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to get into this right here. The album was released in June of 1976. Wikipedia does not have a clear day on here. If anyone knows what the actual day was, let us know in the comments below. It'd be appreciated. It was recorded from December of 1975 to January of 1976 at Eastern Sound Studios in Old Toronto, Canada. The genre is your stuff, progressive folk. Released by Reprise Records, and the producers were Gordon Lightfoot himself, as well as Lenny Waronker, who, if I remember correctly, was posthumously awarded something at last year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if I remember correctly. But Waronker, he was a very huge name, at least when it came to the producing stuff. Let's see here. It doesn't really have a whole lot of information, to say the least, for this album, you know, but he started recording in late 75, which happened to be a month after this one event that we will get into in a moment. But he was still continuing his success and whatnot. And out of when it came to all of his work, I would probably consider Summertime Dream, I think, as one of his best,
Yeah.
honestly. But I'm sure there's a whole lot of other good stuff that he played out there, you know. There, oh, like the big single from this just happened to be Constant Radio Play. The ratings were very good. It received 4.5 out of 5 stars by All Music. It peaked at number 1 on the Canada Top Albums chart and at number 12 on the US Billboard 200. Great, so you gotta admit that is pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of other information. So, shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Alrighty. We are going to start off with a soft, slow melody like a tune to get us started, and that was Race Among the Ruins. Um, I was somewhat impressed, to be
Yeah, I
honest
thought it
with
was
you.
pretty good.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. Like it had that sort like all of the music that I've listened to on this album, I will say, had that Lightfoot touch to it. Like Gordon Lightfoot has a way of making his music sound how it sounds, you know. Oh, and that's something that you gotta give him props for. Um, Yeah, I'll start off with the lyrics here. I really don't have much to say other than that. When you hear his timbre in his voice, dude, you know it's him right away because he has that certain distinctness to his voice.
Yeah.
All right, you think you had the last laugh, now you know this can't be true, even though the sun shines down upon you now. Um, Yeah. Sometimes you must feel blue. You make it the best of each new day. You try not to be sad, even though the sky falls down upon you. Call it midnight feeling bad. When you wake up to the promise of your dream world coming true, with one less friend to call on, was it someone that I knew? Away you will go sailing. In a race among the ruins, if you plan to face tomorrow, do it soon. The road to love is littered by the bones of other ones, who by the magic of the moment were mysteriously undone. You try to understand it, but you even seem to find any kind of freedom coming clean is just another state of mind. Dude, already looking at some of these lyrics and reading them off, dude, they have like, you know, that how progressive rock of music always like has the way they do their lyrics.
Yeah.
And he said, hell, dude, I guarantee you, if he wasn't a folk singer, he probably would have been a great prog rock musician. When you wake up to the promise of your dream world coming true, with one less friend to call on, was it someone that I knew? Away you will go sailing, in a race among the ruins. If you plan to face tomorrow, do it soon. Oh, dude, that actually is, dude, those are really good quotes right there. If you plan to face tomorrow, do it soon. Dude, it's like being prepared to seize the day, is how I would describe it. So take the best of all that's left. You know this cannot last. Even though your mother was your maker, well, it wasn't just your mother, it was your father too. He helped.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think you saw the movie This Is the End, and this is just me off topic. The movie This Is the End, James Franco makes a quote that says, "Your mom's you know what is the canvas, and your father's you know what is the paintbrush. Boom, you're the art." I was like, you know what? I never thought of it that way. We're like animals. We have to mate whenever we can, but the difference is we're seeing it in art form. Jeez, even that sick fucking porn director from a Serbian film, he had a really sick
Hmm.
fantasy, dude. Do not look it up. Do not look it up, people.
Uh, yeah, don't watch a Serbian film.
Yeah, just don't, all right? Anyway, from her apron strings you pass, just think about the fool who by this virtue can be found in a most unusual situation, playing jester to the clown. Oh, instead of crown, it's clown. Okay. When you wake up to the promise of your dream world coming true with one last friend to call on, was it somebody that, no, someone I meant that I knew? Away you will go sailing in a race among the ruins. If you plan to face tomorrow, do it soon. When you wake up to the promise of your dream world coming true with one last friend to call on, was it someone that I knew? Away you will go sailing in a race among the ruins. If you plan to face tomorrow, do it soon. Yeah, overall, I was like, I thought the song was okay. It wasn't exactly my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But this song pales in nothing in comparison to what I believe is Gordon Lightfoot's biggest song ever, and probably one of the biggest hits of all time. And I'm of course talking about "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald."
Yeah, I'd say this is easily the best song on the album. Easily.
It's his biggest hit, or one of his biggest hits ever. And you're right, it's the
If you ask
biggest
me,
hit
it's
on
also
here.
just one of the best songs of all time in general.
Yeah, exactly, dude. This was the song that, no, obviously, like, if you're going to be introduced by Gordon Lightfoot, this song's going to obviously be shown to you, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, like, I didn't really care much about it at first, but I started growing a much more appreciation for it. Even when I was doing a lot of my radio shows, I would frequently play the song or anything by Gordon Lightfoot. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, this song was inspired by what is considered one of the biggest shipwrecks in American history, and that was the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald in Lake Superior in November of 1975. So even to think that it happened in 1975 and then this album came out, it's insane. And yeah, dude, I mean, it's based off of a real event, dude. I mean, how how many songs have you listened to ever that were influenced by some of the most notable events to ever happen?
Shall I dive into the lyrics?
Just give me a quick moment if I may.
Okay.
There is like a few other things that I wanted to say too about this song. The This is the only song that has a Wikipedia link. I will include that as well as everything else in the description below. The song was released as a single in August of 1976. It was recorded, believe it or not, a month after the shipwreck happened at Old Eastern Sound Studios in Toronto. The genres are folk rock, soft rock, and progressive folk. I could hear a little bit of folk rock in it too, but soft rock? It was released by Reprise Records. Gordon Lightfoot was the songwriter, and Lightfoot, along with Lenny Waronker, were the producers of it. Let's see here. Yep, appearing originally on his 76 album, it would also be re-recorded in 1988 for his compilation album Gord's Gold Volume 2, and it is a hit for him. It reached #1 in Canada in the RPM charts, and in the US it peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reached #1 on the Cashbox Top 100. Following Lightfoot's death in 2023, the song actually had a new peak in popularity that same year. It reached #20 on the Billboard magazine's Hot Rock and Alternative Songs chart in May of 2023. And believe it or not, every memorial service that they do for, those that died in the shipwreck, they would end up playing this song, and they would ring the bell about 29 times to honor those who were lost on that ship, because that's how many people have died in that. and they would um let's see here, and they would yeah, like I said, play this song here. Let's see. Just want to find what else I need here. Number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 9 on the US Adult Contemporary charts, and number 50 on the US Hot Country Songs chart. So that's pretty good. And I want to get a little bit into the story so that people know what we're talking about here. So the Edmund Fitzgerald was a freighter here on the Great Lakes, which is about 60 miles east of us. And during a huge storm that happened in November of 1975, there was a huge storm that happened on Lake Superior while they were transporting freight, and the thing sank, and there was 29 people that sadly lost their lives. The ship was located in deep water 4 days later by a U.S. Navy aircraft detecting magnetic anomalies, and soon afterwards found it in two large pieces. Let's see. I want to see what else there was here quickly. At the time, it was actually the largest ship on the Great Lakes, believe it or not. Um, Yeah, there's a whole lot of information. I'll let you guys take a look for yourselves. The link will be in the description below for the ship. But uh, I find it I the one thing when I look back on it is so one of my all-time favorite news anchors who I grew up watching, Dennis Anderson, who I would consider one of if not the greatest news anchors from Minnesota. He was the anchor of WDIO back in the 70s, and I would consider him as the Walter Cronkite of Northland News. And he actually was the first news anchor in the entire country to report on it. Yeah, he basically was the first one to report on the shipwreck, which gave him a lot of attention. And then next thing you know, a month later, Gordon Lightfoot made this song. So you gotta understand that not only is this one of his biggest hits, but this is a song that hits us here in the Northland pretty close. I even just before I pass it on to you for the lyrics, I do want to add quickly that in 2017 I went to this one maritime museum that they had near there, and they actually had some of the um pieces and life rafts, or what I mean, those donuts. I call them water donuts for whatever reason. They had some of those pieces and whatnot from the ship, and they have it on them on display there. So that's pretty cool. All right, dude. On to you.
All right. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they called Gitchagumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty, that good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned. Concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. And later that night, when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling? The wind and the wires made a tattletale sound, and a wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late, and the breakfast had to wait, when the gales of November came slashing. When the afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of the hurricane west wind. When summertime came, the old cook came on deck, saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed ya." At 7 p.m., a main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellows, it's been good to know ye." The captain wired in he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams that islands and bays are for sportsmen. The farther below Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. And the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered. In a musty old hall in Detroit they prayed, in the Maritime Sailors' Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times, for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the tales of November come early. And that's it.
Yeah, I think that's a good story right there.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I mean, I honestly don't know how I really honestly cannot tell you or say like how everyone was feeling that night. You're basically in the middle of water with no land anywhere in sight, and then you're in caught in a storm like that. Like, how would you feel?
I'd be scared.
I honestly don't know what would be more terrifying. Even like when you're in the middle of water, crashing in a plane into the ocean or lake, or going down in a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. All in all, dude, this song, it was because of how big this song got, it ended up memorializing it. And I know there's a lot of people out of Minnesota who are watching this podcast right now. I tell you one thing, to all of you who are not from Minnesota or even the Midwest, the only way you would understand how much this is to us here or how much it impacted us, you would understand the full story. Yep, all in all, rest in peace to all 29.
Yep.
Next up, we got is I'm Not Supposed to Care. Well, Gordon, why don't you want to care? You know?
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to listen to the tune a little bit more if these ads won't play. I don't have YouTube Premium right now, folks, because I just don't. I just wanted to see how it sounded again. How would you describe like the guitar on this? Like it has like, doesn't it not feel like you're sitting at home in the evening time and you just feel like you're in a melody kind of mood? I think it would hit perfectly.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent song, but no, it was one of the weaker songs of the album.
Yeah.
Still good, but just a lot of the other songs are better.
Yeah. Well, Aegis, you just gotta remember, this is folk music, man. They always depend on the acoustic, man. I mean, hell, I've never listened. This is blasphemous of me, but I've never listened to Bob Dylan's debut album, but I know it was all acoustic work.
Yeah.
So I really can't tell you, because I never listened to it. I really can't tell you how I would feel about it. But I mean, dude, folk music's all about the acoustic guitar. Most times, they'll probably have
Yeah,
other instruments, and most times, they will just have the acoustic. I mean, it's folk music's not for everybody, you know.
no, there are some good, better songs on this album that I really like that use acoustics. Just this one in particular, I thought was weaker than the other songs. It's still decent, but I know I just found a lot of the other songs in this album were better.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's not for everybody, you know. I personally kind of liked it, but I probably wouldn't revisit it, you know. But I did like it, so. Oh God, I'm fat.
Hmm.
Alrighty. I think you have somebody waiting outside in the rain to take you away. Well, why do I want them to take me away? I don't want to go in the rain. You got places to go, you got people to see. Still, I'm gonna miss you, but anyway, I wish you good spaces in the faraway places you go. If it rains or it snows, may you be safe and warm and never grow old. I hate to tell you, but we're still gonna grow old anyway.
Hmm.
I mean, hell, dude, I guarantee you, it's been like how many years? Like, I'm 32 years old, but I already feel like I've been like 40. Ugh. See here. And if you need somebody sometime, you know I will always be there. I'll do it, although I'm not supposed to care. I'll give you the keys to my flying machine if you like. Don't you mean an airplane?
Hmm.
If I will show you the light, and when you call, I'm gonna come to you. And when you find someone who loves you, I'll know you would treat me the same. Just a lie there. You're not supposed to care. I think you have somebody waiting outside in the rain to take you away. That's some kind of a game. Still, I'm glad it came down to the final round. But anyway, if you think you need somebody, or no, someone who needs you, you know I will always be there. I'll do it, although I'm not supposed to care. I'll do it, although I'm not supposed to care. And that's it. Man, I need a shave, dude. I don't know about you.
Hmm. I
Nah,
probably need to shave too. I don't shave enough.
nah.
Okay, the next song is I Do It Again, and I'd say it's like my third favorite song on the album.
It sounds really good, man. Don't get me wrong. It
Yeah.
sounds really great. It has like that catchiness to it. I don't know why. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like, you know, the vibes that we were hearing on Fly Like an Eagle by Steve Miller Band. Not saying it sounds like any of the songs, but it just has that same vibe to it, is how I would say it. I really don't know where I would put this song at, honestly. Maybe like like you said, third or fourth song.
Yeah.
It does sound great, man. It's sounded a little more upbeat, you know, especially after you heard, you know, the last song. Alrighty, you oh, it's your turn, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
All right. A one-man band on a one-night stand is a one-man band should be. They cried for more, he replied, why sure, and he played one just for free. The sounds he laid down, the songs he played, made the ladies all come to call. He was born in the back of a Seminole bus on the road to Niagara Falls. I'd do it again, said I'd do it again, I'd do it again. The one-man band philosophical man didn't lie when he said to us, I seen the high rollers come and go, it's the holy rollers I trust. The man said then he was 16 when he retired from the country school. county school. A wee bit thin with a will to begin, he was known to be no man's fool. I'd do it again, I'd do it again. He said I'd do it again, I'd do it again, I'd do it again. The one-man band was a mighty good man because he played till the break of dawn. He ups and downs about four more rounds, and he stayed till the crowd went home. It seemed to me like he never could be like anything I'd ever seen before. When he stepped from the stage with his axe in his hand, and he run through the backstage door. I'd do it again, he said I'd do it again, I'd do it again. A one-man band on a one-night stand as a one-man band should be. They cried for more, he replied why sure, and he played one just for free.
No, dude, that's how they always do it at these at these live shows. They're always like, "We gotta leave." No, one more, one more, one more. And he's
Hmm.
like, "All right." All right, he would just be like, "Yeah, I don't know." Then would just walk away and then just put the guitar back on. Let's do this.
Hmm.
All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, why don't let me take a look one more time how many songs we got left here. Um, yeah, let's do a quick commercial break, actually, as a matter of thought.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We shall be right back. Now, stick with us as we continue our summertime dream. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, after a long, stressful day, you know sometimes it's just good, relax, and just enjoy the weekend while you can. In this case, for me, music-wise, honestly, I have to enjoy my weekend by just sitting back and having me some Post Malone Oreo cookies right here. Now, this here I've never tried before, but because I'm musically inclined, I have to try these. Holy fuck, that actually looks good. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. It looks like a reverse Oreo cookie, but it's almost like it went halfway and they still didn't go back ever. Might as well give this a try. That looks incredible. Well, cheers. Are you an independent musician or band that's looking to be interviewed and to promote your music? If so, contact me via social media or email today. Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Radio here along with Frank Zappa, and welcome to the Roger Radio Show. We are having them good old summertime dreams. It is summertime, so who can ask for any more than that? And yeah, we're doing another legit album review, and we're reviewing the man himself, Gordon Lightfoot, and what I would consider his best album or one of his best works, Summertime Dream. So we're gonna get right back into it. Um, so far everything has been sounding good. You know, it has the traditional
Yeah.
sound. It has his distinct voice, like you would know it's him if you heard his voice, which is what makes him so iconic. You know. All right, the next song that we got is Never Too Close. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't really I would not call this my least favorite song. It just was a song that I really couldn't get into.
I get you. I didn't really care for this song either.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is like the acoustic was pretty good, but I just don't know. I couldn't really get into it honestly. Ugh. All right, I guess I'll get started here. I remember when best friends were jealous lovers, lying warm asleep beneath the covers, dreaming of belonging to each other. And so we tried, never too close, never too near, dying in time. And so we cried, but that is all right. We meant no one no harm. Um, I remember when best friends were not mistaken, long before that freedom was forsaken. No, no, learning about all the good things in the world worth believing, and so we tried. Never too close, never too near, dying in time, and so we cried, but that is all right. We meant no one, no harm. I remember when jealous lovers would stick together, when the days were warm and the nights more tender, when the bonds of truth were not made to measure, and so we tried. Never too close, never too near, dying in time, and so we cried, but that is all right. We meant no one no harm. Try as you will, following dreams never fulfilled. And so we cried, but that is all right. We meant no one no harm. Oh, yup. Dude, this is like sheer poetry right here with these lyrics.
Yeah, yeah, he's a great lyricist.
Right? I just wish the music would have sounded a lot. I would not I don't want to use the term more better, or just more decent or more,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
like if there was like a little more added to it, then I would have actually put this like in the middle of the pack for like my favorite songs from like best to worst and all that. Okay, so this next song that we have here is actually my least favorite one, and it's Protocol.
It was my fourth favorite on the album.
I would not revisit this song, honestly. I just Yeah, I the lyrics were good, but the overall sound of the music I did not like.
All right. Want me to get in the lyrics?
Yeah, go ahead. Holy shit, I'm tired,
All right.
man. I only gone 7 hours of sleep yesterday, man. Damn.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Who are these ones who would lead us now to the sound of 1,000 guns? Storm the gates of hell itself to the tune of a single drum. Where all the girls of the neighborhood bars whose loves were lost at sea. In the hills of France and on German soil from Saigon to Wounded Knee. Who come from long lines of soldiers whose duty was fulfilled in the words of a warrior's will and protocol. Where all the boys in their coats of blue, who flew when their eyes were blind, was God in town when for the Roman games? Was he there when the deals were signed? Who are the kings in their coats of mail who rode by the cross to die? Did they all go down into worthiness? Is it wrong for a king to cry? And who are these ones who would have us now, whose presence is concealed, whose nature is revealed in a time bomb? And last of all, you old sea dogs who travel after whale, you'd storm the gates of hell itself for the taste of mermaid's tail, who come from long lines of skippers whose duty was fulfilled, and the words of a warrior's will and protocol. That's it.
That it?
Yep.
Jeez, I almost spaced out for a little bit. Holy shit, that was quick. Like the lyrics I thought were really good, man, but it's just I just cannot get into the song, dude. No, I just did not
Yeah.
like the sound of it. Um, Next up we got is The House You Live In. And I did like this song. I would probably put this as like maybe my third or fourth best song right here.
Yep.
One interesting note though that I want to probably let you know about. I was looking at the personnel listing here, and the person who they had doing the drums for the song "The House You Live In" was Jim Gordon from Derek and the Dominoes. You know who I'm talking about. It was the same drummer who killed his mom during his schizophrenic episode.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like I was looking at it, I was like, is that the same Jim Gordon? And then I saw his picture, I was like, holy shit.
All right.
Like holy shit, it was insane, man. Um overall, like I said, I really liked the song. So was there anything you wanted to say quicker?
About Protocol?
No, the house you live in.
Oh, I thought it was kind of mid. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't that good either. It was kind of meh.
Just meh.
Yeah.
Heck, no matter how much you say it, dude, it feels like progressive folk for you is just like in the middle of the pack kind of thing, just a meh genre, even though you're the progressive
No,
guy here, you know.
I like a lot of it, and I don't like a lot of it too.
Yeah,
See,
I mean,
I really liked a few of the songs on this album, but there are a few of the songs I didn't like.
yeah.
Same goes for the Decemberists. I like a lot of their music, but there's some music of theirs I just don't get into.
Wasn't there any other prog folk bands that were out there?
Not that I listen to, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there are other prog folk bands out there, but none that I've listened to.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, I'll get us going here. Go first in the world, go forth with your fears. Remember, a price must be paid. Be always too soon. Be never too fast at the time when all bets must be laid. Beware of the darkness. Be kind to your children. Remember, the woman who waits and the house you live in will never fall down. If you pity the stranger who stands at your gate. When you're caught by the gale and you're full under sail, beware of the dangers below, and the song that you sing should not be too sad. I think you might need to make that. I think you might want to take that into consideration, Mr. Future Singer Songwriter.
Hmm.
And be sure not to sing it too slow. There you go. Another note for you to take.
Hmm.
Be calm in the face of all common disgraces and know what they're doing it for, and the house you live in will never fall down. If you pity the stranger who stands at your door, when you're out on the road and feeling quite lost, consider the burden of fame, and he who is wise will not criticize when other men fall at the game. Beware of strange faces and dark, dingy places. Be careful while bending the law, and the house you live in will never fall down. If you pity the stranger who stands at your door, when you're down in the dumps and not ready to deal, decide what it is and what it is that you need. Is it money or love? Is it learning to live? Or is it the mouth you must feed? Be known as a man who will always be candid on questions that do not relate, and the house you live in will never fall down. If you pity the stranger who stands at your gate, and the house you live in will never fall down. If you pity the stranger who stands at your gate. Oh! Yeah, overall, I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
The next song that we have, which is the title track, Summertime Dream, I thought it was another good tune, also.
Yeah, it was my second favorite song on the album, actually.
Yeah. It feels like you're getting ready for the summer, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Like you're just there imagine school's out for the summer or this is probably the song that's playing right before, the school bell rings and you're like, "Yeah, it's over for the summer. Fuck you teachers. We'll see you in the fall." You know? No, I did like it. It was a good tune.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
My mom just texted me. All right, I'm good.
All right,
I would
want me to
say
get in the
this is
lyrics?
I would say this is probably number two or three on my list. All right, you could go on ahead, man.
All right. Where the road runs down by the butternut grove to old Bill Skinner's stream, do you tell it the noonday bell it's time for a summertime dream? In a lunch pail town in a one horse way, you can live like king and queen. Let's steal away at the noonday sun. It's time for a summertime dream. Birds and all creation will be twittering in the trees, and down below's a pond I know. You can swim in it if you please. And if you come round when the mill shuts down, you can see what chivalry means. Let's steal away in the noonday sun. It's time for a summertime dream. On a trip on down into Wonderland, in love among the flowers, where time gets lost with no straw boss, tallying up the hours. When the road runs down by the butternut grove to old Bill Skinner's stream, do tell it the noonday bell it's time for a summertime dream. Birds and all creation will be twittering in the trees, and down below's a pond I know you can swim in it if you please. So if you come round when the mill shuts down, you can see what chivalry means. Let's steal away the noonday sun. It's time for a summertime dream. And that's it.
I only have one question I need to ask. Who the fuck is Bill Skinner? I mean, no, yeah. I mean, you figure like if this was like a rock opera or something like that, the name Bill Skinner would make sense. But what the hell is this? Is this supposed to be a alter ego of Gordon Lightfoot? I don't know.
Hmm.
How would I know? You can live like a king and queen. Queen, dude. I live like a king every day, dude. You not see how my freaking crib is, dude? Just take a look around you. Oh, I almost knocked over my ring light. Yeah, overall, it's a good song, man. I really liked it, actually. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. The next song that we have is Spanish Moss, and it would also be another top favorite. I kind of like the sound of it, you know?
I thought it was okay, but it was, in my opinion, it was one of the weaker songs on the album.
Yeah. I think yeah, this was an occasional song I would often play. I often played on some of my older radio shows, you know.
Yeah.
Was this song right here? Um no, so I just kind of gone like a sort of a fondness to it, you know. It's
Yeah.
probably around like 4 or 5, I would say, honestly. So for like what I like for songs, so
Yeah.
all right, it goes a little like this. Let go, darling. I can feel the night wind call. Best I better go. I like you more than half as much as I love your Spanish moss. Spanish moss a hanging down, lofty as the southern love we found. Spanish moss keeps on following my thoughts around. Georgia pine and ripple wine. Memories of Savannah summertime. Ha! He name dropped summertime right there. Spanish moss. Wish you knew what I was saying. So I'm rolling north thinking of the way things might have been if she and I could have changed it all somehow. Spanish moss hanging down, lofty as the sycamore you've found. Spanish moss keeps on following my thoughts around. Georgia pine and ripple wine, kisses mixed with moonshine and red clay. Spanish moss, wish you knew what I was saying. So I'm rolling north thinking of the way things might have been if she and I could have changed it all somehow. Let go, darling. I can feel the night wind call. The devil take the cost. I like the way your kisses flow, and I love your Spanish moss. How do we know it's Spanish? It could be French. It could be Danish. Could be German. Could be
Is
Canadian.
is the term Spanish moss referring to a bush?
I hope not. I always, I always make sure that they shave down there beforehand. That's my number one policy. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't need to age restrict this video. We're already gonna be age restricting this as it is because the next Frank Zappa album we'll be reviewing, and we're gonna save that as a surprise. So the
We're just
next
gonna
song,
review Joe's Garage again.
right? Yeah, we just decided to do it again just for the fun of it. So, all right, we're gonna conclude this podcast with too many clues in this room. Um, I will say this, dude, and this is what I picked up on, is that you can hear it almost has the same melody or overall sound like the Edmund Fitzgerald song did. You know?
Hold up, I gotta listen to.
It was a pretty
Yeah, I can
good
see that. I can see it.
it was a pretty good way to close the album, I would say, honestly, you know?
Yeah.
Like Gordon Lightfoot just done a repeat. He just A-B repeated it.
Mhm.
Is how I would say it. It was like, you know, when we've listened to Tales from Typographic Oceans, you know, and there was like a couple parts where they revisited like the same melody or jingle from, you know, the first track on that one.
Yeah.
And that's what I was seeing with this. I can't remember. Were there any other albums that were reviewed where they did that same thing? I think Metropolis Part 2 by Dream Theater we also picked up on.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe's Garage did that. Um, what other albums? Yeah, I think those were the only albums that really repeated for the tune, for like the music tune on other songs. So, all right, dude, this one's all you.
All right, the space shuttle ends where the subway begins. There's a tear on the face of the moon. From dusk until dawn, they have searched all day long, but there's too many clues in this room. At best, it is said we've been locked deep inside of an old seaman's chest full of charts, where maps are contained and what's left of his brains when the crew threw his balls to the sharks.
What? What?
All around the looking glass, dancing to a tune, sweeping out the house with a fine-tooth comb, with history which history's shown leads to ruin. In a word, it is said that at times we must fall, but the worst of it all was the lies. We died for the cause just like regular outlaws in the dust of an old lawman's eyes. In times best forgot, there was peace, there was not. In her pains, Mother Earth came to bloom. Your children were born in the eye of the storm, and there's too many clues in this room. The power that is stored is this no man's land of chance. Is this someone who knows what they're doing? The old soldiers say in their own crusty way, we've got too many troops in this room. All around the looking glass, dancing to a tune, sweeping out the house with a fine-tooth comb which history's shown leads to ruin. The space shuttle ends where the subway begins. Praise the Lord, there's a train leaving soon. From dusk until dawn, they have searched all day long, but there's too many clues in this room. And that's it.
Dude, could you just imagine, like, for the lyrics, the space shuttle ends where the subway begins, and from dusk until dawn on, they have searched all day long. Could you imagine if David Bowie incorporated those on Station to Station?
Hmm. No, I thought it was a pretty decent album. I gotta give it a 7.2 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it give it the same rating, 7 out of 10 for me. It was a pretty good time right there. Like especially if you're a Gordon Lightfoot person, you know. Like I said, this is
Yeah.
probably one of his best works right here, without a doubt. You know, and the fact that he did do a tribute to those that were on the Edmund Fitzgerald Earl and putting Lake Superior on the map and kind of us a little bit near that so that our story became more broader. It really meant a lot, without a doubt. And even then, it's because of that. The Edmund Fitzgerald's my most favorite song on here. And obviously, Protocol was my least favorite one.
Yeah.
What about you?
Let's see. It's either a Spanish Moss or Never Too Close would be my least favorite song. My favorite was
Okay.
obviously The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, though.
Yeah. No, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Like, it's his biggest hit. Like, I think alongside his other song Sundown, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, obviously all the way up there. Without a doubt. And I'm sure all of you, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot listen to folk music without listening to Gordon Lightfoot. So, what are some of your favorite music from Lightfoot himself? Leave it in the comments below, and we'll let you know what our thoughts are about that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet, give the album a listen. The link to it will be in the description below, as well as all of the other information that we have looked at. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's podcast. I wish it would have been more exciting, but excuse me. But if I kind of felt like I was rushing it a little bit, honestly, but that's because I have my older sister coming up this weekend. She's up here this weekend, so I'm going to go spend time with her and just see where we go from there and whatnot. If you like what we're doing here, and if you have any recommendations for what we should talk about, subscribe to the Roger Radio Show, comment what you think we should talk about, hit the thumbs up, give me that fucking like, give us that fucking like, and share it with your friends and family. While you're at it, subscribe to the Intermission group as well, and follow me on all my social media. The links to everything will be in the description below. And also, if you are an independent musician and band that wants to have your music promoted and to be interviewed, email me at rogerrhodes90@yahoo.com. Aegis, any final thoughts?
Got nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching this episode. And as always, until next time, ta-ta!
Peace.